FM Camberley with another episode of the Wonderkid series. Today we're looking at centre attacking midfielders, so just in front of the centre midfield. Previously we looked at centre midfield, and there are other videos where we looked at defensive midfield, centre back, left back, right back and goalkeeper. But like I said, today we're concentrating on centre midfield, starting with the youngest at 16, and then we'll go through to the age of 20. I'll try and get through this as quick as I can because there are a lot of players in this episode. So first we've got Abdelhak Nouri. Is an approach to sign, so you can get him straight away at the beginning of the season. 16 years old, 4.2 grand a week. Is on 4.2k value. Sorry, £95 a week. Physical's not too bad. Stamina's a bit of a shame, but he's only 16, so he's got a lot to come. His mental's okay, but it does need work. Showing about his work rate, his determination, and his teamwork. And he's playing for Ajax in the under-19s. His technical though is actually quite good, and he can play across the front of centre midfield, so centre attacking midfield. He can be trained on the left and the right, can play in centre midfield, and also, funnily enough, he can play up front. With a finishing of 8 though, I wouldn't really recommend it. Then we've got Guido Vidala playing for Boca under-20s. Again, an approach to sign, so you can get him at the beginning of the season, probably between 500 to 800k compensation. Physical's not too good, unfortunately. Natural fitness is 16, but don't let that overshadow the fact that his strength, stamina, jumping, balance and agility are all 10 and below. His mental's okay. Watch out for his aggression with his bookings. Determination's pretty poor, which is something I look at, which I always mention, but his technical's very, very good. So if you can train him correctly, he can actually become quite a good central attacking midfielder. Plus you can probably make a little bit of money on him as well if you want to sell him in the future. Value at 250k, and the Argentinian's on £25 a week. Next we've got Joel Sonora, also in the Boca under-20s, also an approach to sign. His physical is not great at all. I wouldn't really recommend him on the basis of his physical. The American, his mental stats are quite good, but his determination lets him down again. But again, his technical is all there. So 150k approach to sign, £25 a week, and like I said, at Boca under-20s. Then we got a little worldie in Donny's. I'm going to try and pronounce that Avdijaj. His physical is pretty good. His stamina will come, but I would recommend training that while he's young. But his strength and things like that will come through age. His mental is superb. His determination of 14. Showing about his work rate and teamwork doesn't go with it, but his technical is unbelievable. Almost first team for a lot of clubs. An approach to sign. 16 years old, playing for Schalke. He's German. £55 a week. There's another worldie from Schalke. I don't think obviously this is as a United, but he won't sign for me on a free there. Then we got a favourite from the last FM on FM13, Alan Halilovic. Physical's not great. He's pretty quick. He can get across the park quite quickly. Natural fitness though lets him down along with his stamina, but he is only 17. Mental's not too bad, but his teamwork and work rate is pretty poor, to be honest. But his technical is all there. He's very, very good. 17 years old, but he's very expensive. 6.25 million on 4.5k a week, playing for Dynamo. Then we got Antonio Vutov. Again, his physical's not that great. It does need work. Mental's pretty much all there. I was quite impressed with his mental, and his technical's just a little bit below his mental, but it's still not bad. 600k in value. He's from Bulgaria on 3.3k a week, playing for Udinese in the under-19s. Then we got Sebastian Driussi. His physical's a little bit better than the previous two. He is available on approach to sign. Central attacker midfielder. His mental stats are very good. His teamwork and work rate are awesome. Determination again though lets him down. His technical does need work, but he is only 17, so he will improve dramatically. And the Argentinian is playing for River under-20s. £25 a week and a value of 1.5 million. Next we've got Mark Stendera. Simply, he's brilliant. His technical is phenomenal. Same with his mental, is all there, and his physical is pretty much all there for a 17-year-old. I probably would recommend him above a lot of the other players that I'm going to mention in this video, especially ones that are 17 years old. But yeah, like I said, his technical is awesome. 1.2 million in value, £550, £550 a week, and playing for Frankfurt the second or Frankfurt 2. But one thing to add is he is injured for 6 to 7 months at the beginning of the game. So whether you're going to get him at the beginning of the season, I'm not too sure. Then we're moving on to Thomas Lemar. Again, although he looks pretty average at 17 years old, he's pretty much across the board. His physical and mental are good, and along with his technical, it's not too bad, but does need some work for a central attacking midfielder, especially his dribbling. Like I said, 17 years old, playing for Stade Meher Caen, or Ken, as people say it. 275k in value, 1.5k a week. Maximilian Meyer, probably one of the biggest Wonderkids in central attacking midfield on the game. But in every single save, for some reason, his determination always seems to let him down. Maybe this might differ in yours, I don't know. His physical is pretty much all there, but that will come through age. His mental is quite good, like I said, bar his determination, which is a shame. But his technical is unbelievable for that position. Dribbling is 17, first touch at 18, technique at 18. His passing is there as well for 14. If you can get his long shots up a little bit, it would be quite good. But he can play across the front three. Highly recommended, but he's very expensive. 7.5 million in value for a 17-year-old. 24.5k a week as well. Playing for Schalke, so there's another one of them Schalke Wonderkids. Then we've got one of the Man United players playing in the under-21s. He's taken the Premier League by storm at the moment. Probably the only United player that is actually taking it by storm. Adnan Januzaj. Physical are unbelievable. His stamina does need some work, so is his strength, but that will come through age. He's only 18 years old. His mental is unbelievable. He is going to be overrated on this game because FM kind of called it that he was going to be quite good. His technical is just sublime as well. Dribbling is 16, first touch 17, passing is 16, his technique 17. And his crossing, I'm surprised his crossing is not higher because his final ball has been superb. A lot of people would retrain him. I probably would retrain him on the left, but he is predominantly a central attacking midfielder. Belgian's 18 years old, 16 million in value, and he's on 50 grand a week. So he's going to be probably one of the most expensive players on the game at the age of 18. So we'll go back to the shortlist and we'll carry on, and we'll move on to Will Hughes. English, so he's going to cost you money again, probably within the region of about £10 million. Physical stats are not too bad. He's pretty much across the board, but he does look quite average, but he's only 18. He's one of the English youngsters in the central midfield that are sort of breaking through at the moment, playing for Derby, 2.5 million value, 6k a week. His technical needs a lot of work, but that will come. His mental's not too bad. I'm quite impressed with his mental, and his physical's very similar. So he's highly recommended, especially for sort of a mid-Premier League club. Then we go to Angel Correa. Physical lets him down a lot because his technical and his mental are both superb. He's got a lot to work from in them, but his physical, like I said, does let him down. 2.2 million in value, 3.6k a week, 18 years old. He is owned by an agent who owns 40%, and he's playing for San Lorenzo. Thomas Martinez. Get him as soon as you can because an agent does come in and get him, and sometimes the percentages that they take of him are quite high. So you think you're getting a player cheap. For instance, I could get him on the Trophy Hunt Challenge for 4 million. Next minute, an agent comes in and gets him, and he would have cost me just under 10 million, just because an agent was owning a percentage of him. His physical's pretty good. It's not too bad, but his stamina needs work. But he's only 18. His mental is unbelievable. I'm looking at that stat there. His determination 19 to go along with his work rate and teamwork, which is going to increase in all stats everywhere. He's going to be great in training. Technical, it does need some work. He's pretty standard, but only 18 years old. 1.7 million in value. The Argentinian's on 3.6k a week and plays for River at the under-20s. Then we've got Otavio, and a very popular player to buy on this FM. £2 million in value. And the Brazilian's on 3.2k a week, playing for an Internacional in Brazil. Physical's pretty good. Same with his mental. He's pretty much across the board. And although his technical does look okay, his dribbling's only 13. First touch is 15, which is good. Same with his technique. He's got a lot of 11s in there. So you might think he's seen a lot of green, but he does need some work. Mohamed Demirci. Technical is unbelievable. First team from many teams already. His mental lets him down a little bit, especially with his determination and work rate, and his physicals, to be honest with you, is pretty poor. And the Turk is on 120. Is worth 120k, 2.1k a week, and he's playing for Besiktas in the reserves. And he does normally move quite quickly, so I'd highly recommend getting him. But he could be a good money maker at that value. Next, we've got Tony Trindade de Vihela. Vilhena, sorry. Excuse me. His physical's not too bad. His stamina needs work. But I have noticed it's a common thing with central attacking midfielders that stamina and strength aren't that great, really. But moving on to his mental, it's okay. But again, his determination lets him down. His technical, though, does need a lot of work. He's playing for Feyenoord, 1.8 million in value, and is on 4.9k a week. And the Dutchman is 18 years old. Moy Gomez, again, straight away looking at his mental, his determination lets him down. And again, there's that stamina and strength that seems to let him down as well. But his technical is okay. It's pretty much all there. It's a good standard and a good basis to work from. 18 years old, worth 850k, 6.25k wages, playing for Villarreal. Then we've got Leandro Paredes, very, very popular on the last FM, on FM13. Physical is very good. His mentals is very good as well, and his technical is even better. It's 1.7 million in value, playing for Kiev. On loan, though, from Roma. I believe Roma have recently purchased him. Yep, that's correct. But one thing to point out, he's injured for 5 weeks to 2 months, so it doesn't really matter anyway, because you wouldn't be able to get him because he is injured. But like I said, the injury and the loan go hand in hand. But he is one to keep an eye on, I have to say that. Maximilian Arnold. Physical's very, very good. Very impressed with physical. So am I with his mental. Although he looks pretty average, he's pretty much 15 and 14s across the board. His technical, though, is not too bad. It does need work, but like I said, it's very similar to his mental. Sorry, it's sort of the 15 or 14 mark. So I would highly recommend him. 19 years old, 5 million in value though, so he might be expensive. Playing for Wolfsburg, and he's worth 7.25k. Sorry, he's on 7.25k in wages. Wojciech Zielinski, his physical lets him down a little bit, especially with his natural fitness, which is a shame. His mental's not too bad, but his determination's pretty low. But this will all come through age. If he was about 16, 17, I'd really highly recommend him. But his technical's not great, to be honest with you. His first touch is okay with his passing. I suppose he's got the key attributes for the position that he plays. But his technique's 16, which isn't too bad. 875k in value, 7.25k a week. Playing for Udinese in the reserves. And he's 19 years old. Then you've got Brian Rebello. He's not too bad, actually. He's one of the little sneaky ones I managed to find. His physical's okay. Stamina lets him down a little bit along with his strength. But like I said again, that will come through age. His mental's okay. He's not too bad. But that will all come through age again. But his technical's quite good. He's got all the basis there to become quite a good central attacking midfielder, especially for sort of a mid-table club in the higher or the top divisions in most countries. 1.7 million in value, 3.7k a week, and he plays for Deportivo in Spain. Then we've got Diego Lopez. Again, straight away, it points out to me all the time. His determination of 9, but apart from that, his mental's okay. Stamina lets him down a little bit, so you might be substituting him a lot, but that will come through age again. His technical's okay. His first touch is 16, passing 13 is not great, but dribbling is 14, so this will all need to be worked on. 175k in value, so he is quite cheap. 1.1k a week in wages, and the Brazilian's playing for Rio Ave. Sebastian Kirk, there it is again, determination of 9. His physicals are a little bit better. Around the determination, his mental's not too bad, but does need work, but he is only 19. Technical's pretty good, I was pretty impressed with that. 1.4 million in value, 3.4k a week on wages. Playing for Freiburg 2 or Freiburg the second. Gabriel Orinku, to be honest with you, he's a very, very good central attacking midfielder. I would highly recommend scouting him. I would recommend getting him early on though in the game, because he does tend to increase quite quickly, especially his value. So he's going to become expensive the longer you leave it. His technical is pretty much all there. He looks like a very good central attacking midfielder. His mental's not too bad at all. Same about his work rate and teamwork to go with the determination. His physical is pretty much across the board, but again, his stamina lets him down a little bit. 625k in value, and he's on £775 a week, playing for Steaua Bucharest. Then we've got Hakan Calhanoglu. Physical's not too bad. It's a shame, like his balance, and he's not going to need to jump anytime soon. His balance and his strength, which isn't great, so he's going to get knocked off the ball if they have a beastly central defender next to him. His mental's not too bad. Again, his determination's not great, but his technical's through the roof. First touch 16. His free kick is a good set piece taker. Passing 16, technique 17. Worth £4 million. Playing for HSV, as you can see, playing for Hamburg. £4 million in value and 21k a week. Marco Pavlovsky. Physical really does let him down. His natural fitness is poor. His stamina is poor. Strength's poor. Balance is poor. Don't really need to worry about jumping. His mental is not too bad. He's got good determination, good work rate. It's probably the best out of the three areas. His technical's okay. He's pretty much sort of your 12, 13, but he's 14 at technique, passing and dribbling, so he's got the key stats there for a central attacker midfielder. Playing for FC Porto B, 350k value and £210 a week. Then we've got one of the English gems in Ross Barkley. He does differ from save to save quite in quite extremes, really. I've seen him with a determination of 4. This one's 14. I've also seen 18, so he sort of bounces everywhere, so be wary of that. Playing for Everton, as you know, 6 million in value, so he's probably going to cost you in the region of about 15 to 20 million, would be my best guess, especially as this is the 14.3 update. Physical's very, very good, same with his mental in this situation, and his technical's also not too bad at all, and he's only on 11 grand a week, but like I said, he's English, so he's going to cost you a bit of money. Suso, on loan from Liverpool, playing for Almira. He's actually very, very good. He was highly rated on the last FM, but people just sort of looked past him, I think. Physical's unbelievable. Same with his mental. It's all there. And his technical's not bad at all either. £4 million in value, but be wary of that, whether that goes up or down whilst he's on loan at Almira. You probably won't be able to get him the first season. So second season would be the best time to get him. And he's 15k. He's on 15k a week. Then we've got John Williams. The Welshman is actually very, very good in this game. He's looked past a lot by especially bigger clubs, I suppose. I'd say sort of mid-table to higher than that. He'd be a very, very great addition. Physical's very, very good. Very impressed with that. He's predominantly a centre midfielder, but obviously you can push him forward because he's tiny, so I wouldn't really bother playing him centre midfield. He's only 5'6". His mental is very, very good. Determination stands out again. Technical is not too bad. His dribbling is 16, first touch of 13, passing of 14, but his technique lets him down, so he does need work in the technical areas. He's playing for Palace, so you probably have to get him quite cheap. It was worth 3.1 million. My best guess would probably be between 6 and 9 million. He's on 10 grand a week. Then we've got Kevin Stoja. Physical is dire. I'd probably avoid him just because of that, especially as he's 19. His mental's not too bad, but it does need work. His work rate and teamwork stand out that lets him down, and so does his composure actually. But his technical's not too bad. He's got technique of 16, passing of 14, first touch of 14, his dribbling's 15, so his technical's actually quite good. 19 years old, 275k in value, playing for Kaiserslautern, and he's on 1.3k a week. Then we've got Rafinha. He's not too bad. His technical lets him down a little bit. His mental's is pretty average. His physical's okay. I was quite impressed with that. 475k in value, 3.2k a week, and he's playing for Fluminense. And he's Brazilian, and obviously you can see there he's 19 years old. Then we've got Adam Meyer. I've actually had mixed bags and mixed reports from this guy. He looks like probably one of the best Wonderkids in central attacking midfield, probably in the top 5, especially the ones that I've shown so far. His physical's okay, but his stamina lets him down a little bit. But his mental's very, very good. Determination is 16, is quite good. And his technical's actually sublime. His technique's 17, passing 16, dribbling 17, and first touch is 15. Only 19 years old. Dutchman's worth 3.7 million, and he's on 7.25k a week playing for PSV. But I've heard that he can be a bit of a flop. So whether I can't really say I'd recommend him, but I've never actually used him before. But he seems to get good ratings sometimes, and I see other people where he said that he's just flopped and they've ended up selling him. And it was the same on Football Manager 13 as well. Then we've got Allison. You need to get him very, very quickly because I normally last time in this save in one of my personal saves, there's bids made on him almost the second day in the game. Physicals are very, very good. His mental's not too bad. He's got a lot of 10s in there. Determination lets him down a little bit. His technical's okay, but does need work. 20 years old, 650k in value. He's on £3 a week, playing for Cruzeiro in the reserves. But as you can see already, he's wanted by 12 clubs, so people are going to be bidding for him pretty quickly. Then we got Stanciu. Nikuso Stanciu is very, very popular to get very, very early on. Physical's not too bad. His balance lets him down a little bit, but he's okay. His mental's very, very good. Quite impressed with that. And as you can see, his technical's not too bad either. Dribbling 13, first touch 14, passing is 16. His technique's 15. He can play pretty much anywhere in central midfield, bar sort of the DM areas. 950k in value, 20 years old, 1.4k a week, playing for Steaua Bucharest. He's actually quite highly recommended in my book. Then we've got Felipe Anderson. To be honest with you, he's pretty much average in most areas. His technical's quite good, but his physical's actually not too bad. His mental's pretty average, but his technical's okay. His technique 15, passing of 15, first touch of 14, dribbling 14. 20 years old, playing for Lazio. The Brazilian's worth 2.9 million, and he's on 15.75k a week, but he is injured for sort of about 3 months, so will he be able to get him at the beginning of the season? I'm not too sure. Then we've got Fred, playing for Shakhtar. He's actually quite a highly recommended player from them in real life. His physical is not too bad, but his natural fitness lets him down, along with his strength as well, which seems to be a common thing with central attacking midfielders. His mental's okay. He looks average, a little bit above average, I suppose. His technical's not bad. Dribbling 15, first touch 14, passing's 12, needs work. Technical 14. He's quite expensive though. The Brazilian's worth 6 million. 20 years old, 16k a week. So you probably have to splash, I'd say probably about 10 to 15 million on him. Then we've got Ravel Morrison. We all know what he can be like in real life. He's a bit of a loose wire, a bit of a live wire. But he's actually quite good in this game. He's probably one of the highest recommended English central attacking midfielders I can sort of show, along with probably Ross Barkley and obviously Jack Wilshere, but Jack Wilshere is just a little bit older. Physical is very, very good, bar his stamina, which needs work. His mental's quite good. I was quite shocked with these. I think these were a little bit higher than what I thought they would have been. With his teamwork at 9, I thought that would have been quite low, and his work rate at 11. Because I'd imagine his personality is not superb. He's got a bit of a Balotelli about him, thinks he's it. His mental though is quite good actually. Other than that, his determination's 15, his flair's 20, so he's got good skill. Dribbling is 16 to go with that flair. First touch of 15, passing of 15, his technique's 17. So for an Englishman, he's actually quite highly recommended. Playing for West Ham. He's on loan at the minute at QPR in real life, but he's not on the game. 5 million in value and 15k a week wages. But like I said, he's English, so he's going to cost you money. I'd say probably upwards about sort of 15 at least. So 15 to 20 million probably. Next we have Fede Cartabia, or Cartabia. Physical's not too bad. His pace and his stamina let him down a little bit, which is a bit of a shame. And as you can see straight away, there's that determination, there's that work rate. Lets him down a little bit, but other than that, his mental's not too bad at all, I suppose. His creativity is 16, flair is 17. He's a very skillful player. Technical's very, very good. Technique is 16, passing is 17, first touch of 15, dribbling is 17. 850k. Argentinian, is 20 years old. He's on 7.75k a week for Valencia. He's not too bad. Keep tabs on him. Then we got probably my favourite central attacking midfielder, Wonderkid, the Colombian, Juan Fernando Quintero. He's recently moved to Porto, I believe, unless he's gone through the youth. Yeah, he's recently moved from Porto, from Pescara. He is ridiculously good. His physical is not too bad. Stamina and strength lets him down, but for a 20-year-old, it's pretty good. The mental stats are very, very good. I was quite impressed with them. He's pretty much across the board, bar his work rate and his concentration. Again, his positioning probably not great either. But his technical is just ridiculous. Technique's 16, passing 15, long shots 16, free kicks, he's a set piece taker as well. Free kicks are 15, first touch 18, crossing 17, corners 16, his dribbling's 15. He's very, very, very good. I'd highly recommend him. You're probably not going to be able to get him in the first season, but I would race to get him in the second season. 3 million in value, 5.75k a week, so he's probably going to be quite cheap, especially if he doesn't perform for Porto. But because Porto are pretty much other than Benfica, maybe Sporting. They're quite likely to win the league. They're quite a good team on the game. So whether his value will go up or down dramatically, it's probably going to go up. So if you can get him, it's ideal, but he might be expensive. Then we've got Marco van Ginkel, the forgotten man at Chelsea at the moment, although he is only young. 20 years old. His physical is very, very good, very impressive. His mental is unbelievable as well, with that determination and work rate. Very impressed with that. His versatility, he can play absolutely anywhere in midfield, bar DM. His technical is not too bad either, with technical 14, passing a 14, first touch 13, his dribbling is 12, so that doesn't need work, but he's only 20. Dutchman's worth 4.6 million. If you're an English club, especially a bigger English club, he's going to cost you money because he plays for Chelsea, and he's on 25k a week, so he's probably going to be one of the more expensive ones, especially wage-wise. Then you've got Kars Gill. Straight away, determination of 10 lets him down, but his mental's not too bad other than that. Physical's quite good, quite impressed with his physical, and his technical does go with that physical. Technical 15, passing a 15, first touch needs work, 13, his dribbling 16, that's quite good. And if you want to play him on the wings, his crossing's 14 as well. 1.7 million in value, so it's quite cheap, 3.4k a week wages, 20 years old, and the Spaniard is playing for Elche on loan at the moment. So first season you're probably unlikely to get him, but second season most definitely get him from Valencia. Rafa Wolski, physical really does let him down. It's not great at all. Stamina is quite bad. Strength is dire. Natural fitness only 11. He's not very quick. Mental determination stands out again, along with the work rate. But other than that, he's average at best. Technical lets him. Well, it's not too bad actually. Technique 15, passing 14, long shots of 13 as well to go with that. First touch of 14 and dribbling 15, so it's not too bad. 1.3 million in value. Playing for Fiorentina, he's on 8.5k a week. Last but not least, we've got Sergio. Physical stamina lets him down. Other than that, it's average. Mental, it's okay. His determination's 14. Creativity though and flair, 16 and 18, which is good. And his technical, his technique at 16, passing at 13, first touch at 13, and dribbling at 13. So it does need a lot of work. Playing for Lugo on loan from Real Betis, 425k in value, 2.3k a week. So that's all the central attacking midfielders that I've managed to discover throughout my games. You've probably discovered some that I've missed. Put them in the comment section below. I'm going to try and interact with you guys as much as I can throughout this series. I'm doing these videos pretty much a position a day in the evening, and then they're obviously available for the full day the next day. Like I said, I'm striving to get into contact with you guys as much as possible, so I do answer all comments in the section below. Don't forget to check out FM Campbell on Twitter, and it's at FM Campbell. Other than that, the next episode will probably move on to left wingers, so players that play left midfield or attacking midfield left, and then it'll move on to right wingers, and then furthermore to the big one, which is the strikers at the very end. Like I said, any players that you think I've missed, put them in the comment section below. Other than that, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you in the next video when we look at left wingers. Cheers.